Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the November special meeting. Could everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, and thank you for those who are tuning in and also in the audience to observe the meeting. And today we are getting together to continue what we left off last Monday, and which is the Anti-Bias Task Force. And at last Monday's meeting, the board had a discussion, and we empowered the administration and Dr. Rogers to reach out to the chairs to lead this task force, and then also that we receive many recommendations as well, and then we'll have a way to after we appoint these chairs, we'll have a way to reach out to these who send us emails, and then to have them involved in the task force too. And then for now, I will be reading the Anti-Bias Task Force, the authorization and charge. Okay. So the resolution to authorize an anti-bias task force, anti-bias task force authorization and charge, whereas the Board of Education Board is absolutely committed to making Syosset an inclusive school district where everyone feels safe, where everyone is treated with dignity, where difference is celebrated, and where everyone feels they belong. Whereas the Board of Education is committed to providing a safe and supportive school environment where all individuals are treated with respect and students may receive and school district personnel may deliver quality educational services without disruption or interference. Whereas the board deems all forms of hate, bias, and intolerance to be antithetical to its goals and will vigorously identify and respond to all forms of it in the district. Whereas the board wishes to create a forum for members of the community from a multiplicity of perspectives to provide input on matters related to bias as the district develops an anti-bias plan. Whereas the board is committed to providing the resources necessary to implement such anti-bias plan. Therefore, be it resolved that the board hereby authorizes the creation of the Anti-Bias Task Force as follows. Number one, the board will appoint members to the task force who represent multiple diverse perspectives of Syosset. These members must have demonstrated a commitment to making Syosset a more inclusive, just, and unified community. Rabbi Jamie Shalhavit, Dr. Usman Syed, and Pastor Rebecca Sheridan will serve as the co-chairs of the task force. The district will appoint staff to assist the task force. Members may be removed by the board at any time. 2, the task force's role shall be advisory to the board. The board may accept, reject, modify, or defer any recommendations of the task force. 3, the board shall receive any reports and recommendations of a task force in public session. Be it further resolved, the charge of the task force shall be as follows. 1, develop recommendations for an anti-bias plan for implementation in a school district that responds to all forms of hate and bias and builds awareness of hate and bias in broader society. 2, acknowledge that each form of bias may require unique and specific action steps. 3, efforts should be prioritized to address forms of bias that require immediate attention due to salient issues in the community. 4, collect suggestions and input from the community members, including students. 5, acquire feedback from students to understand their experiences encountering bias. 6, involve parents, guardians, and families as partners in anti-bias action steps. 7, seek input from collaboration with experts, community-based groups, and nonprofit organizations dedicated to combating bias. 8, review existing anti-bias initiatives from other communities to identify and emulate best practices and effective strategies. 9, review the district's code of conduct, disciplinary process, accountability measures, and data reporting procedures, and make recommendations regarding revisions or improvements. 10, recommend short and long-term action steps and policies to reduce bias, enhance the district's response, and facilitate systemic change. 11, design a system to collect meaningful data that will give the school community an accurate understanding of the district's climate as well as measures and evaluate outcomes of the anti-bias plan. And 12, present short-term recommendations to the Board of Education at its February meeting and long-term recommendations for an anti-bias plan at the Board of Education meeting in March or April 2024. May I have a motion, please? Dr. Parr, seconded by Ms. Koshia. Are there any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you so much. I know that this is going to be both short-term and long-term, and then since these chairs are appointed tonight, they will be getting together immediately to discuss the next steps, and any updates that they report to the board will report to the community at public sessions, meaning at the meetings, and then we will have several meetings, to report to the community of the progress of this task force. Okay, and this has been a very difficult time for many of us in the community. And I just want to, thank everyone for your patience while we're dealing with this. And then at the same time, we are many, but at the end of the day, we are one. So we can definitely work together, with the collaboration of the community, with the different groups that we work together, and then we just make our students feel that they're comfortable, they're safe, and they belong to our learning community. Thank you so much.
So just for the benefit of the community and the board, we see the process from here is to have an organizational meeting with the chairs now that they've been appointed. First order of business after that organizational meeting will be appointing the remaining members of the task force. We'll want to create and we'll publish a schedule of meetings that will be had by the task force, and I imagine those meetings will comprise meetings with experts, meetings with students, forums to hear from community members, and meetings with organizations that have as part of their charter fighting hate and bias. And we'll need to develop a data collection process for collecting data about what students are experiencing in the school. We'll have interim progress reports for the Board of Education and the community and public, and we'll have a better sense once that organization is done and the meetings are underway when the board can expect to have recommendations from the task force. So we'll come up with a cadence of reporting to the community on the progress of the task force so that folks have a sense of what meetings have taken place, what meetings are yet to take place, and when the board is anticipating getting recommendations from the task force.
Thank you, Dr. Rogers. Okay, immediately following tonight's meeting at 7:45 p.m., there'll be a virtual PTA presentation about DASA and the Code of Conduct. You'll be able to view that presentation in the South Cafeteria in Southwoods Middle School, or you can tune in virtually, of course. So with that, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Ms. Levitin, seconded by Ms. Falco. Any questions? All in favor? Okay, meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.